The cameras were rolling, the lights were bright, and the set of the reunion special felt like any other high-drama taping, until Princess Love stood up, pulled out her phone, and said 5 words that changed everything. "You want to see the receipts?" In that moment, time stopped. Gasps echoed. Amara La Negra's expression froze. And what was supposed to be a simple wrap-up turned into one of the most explosive confrontations reality TV has ever seen. For weeks, rumors had been floating through. Fan forums and blog headlines, whispers of late-night meetups between Amara and Ray J, cryptic messages, backstage flirtations. But no one had real proof. Until now. And Princess, she came ready. Eyes locked, voice shaking, not from fear, but rage. She claimed Amara crossed a line no friend ever should have. And right here, live on camera, she was going to prove it. Amara, caught off guard and visibly rattled, stood her ground. "That's a lie," she snapped. "You're just mad your man looked my way." Fans watching from home were stunned. The audience on set? Dead silent. This wasn't just drama. It was betrayal, heartbreak, and receipts about to go public. And what happened next? No one could have predicted. The reunion had barely started when tension began to rise. It was supposed to be a celebration, a wrap-up, a quick look back at the season's most shocking moments. But what no one knew was that Princess Love had been waiting weeks, maybe months, for this exact opportunity. She wasn't interested in hugs, closure, or playing nice for the cameras. She came with a mission. And most importantly, she came with proof. Amara La Negra sat calmly at first, her signature curls flawless, makeup glowing, and confidence pouring from every angle. She smiled, laughed at inside jokes with the host, and even shared a few behind-the-scenes anecdotes that had the audience chuckling. To anyone watching, she was unbothered, untouchable. But behind that perfectly posed exterior, something was brewing. She knew something was coming. She just didn't know how bad it would be. Princess, on the other hand, was quiet. Too quiet. No side comments, no dramatic sighs, just that heavy, silent energy that screams, something isn't right. Ray. Jay sat beside her, visibly uncomfortable. He fidgeted with his mic, glanced at the producers more than once, and tried to avoid eye contact with both women. But his nervousness only confirmed what many fans had already suspected. Something happened. Something big. The host, trying to ease into the drama naturally, asked Princess how she felt about rumors circulating online. "People are saying there's tension between you and Amara. Want to clear that up?" Princess gave a tight smile. "Oh, I'll clear it up, just not with words. I brought screenshots." The audience gasped. Amara shifted in her seat. The smile didn't leave her face, but it definitely froze. She glanced at Ray J, who looked like he wanted to disappear into the floor. "Screenshots of what?" the host asked, trying to sound casual but clearly intrigued. Princess didn't answer right away. Instead, she reached into her designer purse, pulled out her phone, and tapped the screen with slow, deliberate movements. "Receipts," she said. Late-night texts, hotel meetups, private messages he thought would stay hidden. Amara rolled her eyes. "This is ridiculous. I'm not entertaining some made-up drama over a couple of DMs." Princess turned the phone toward the cameras. The producers zoomed in instantly. Blurry but visible on the screen were messages sent from Ray J's phone, texts filled with flirty emojis, suggestive lines, and the unmistakable energy of two people who had gone far beyond friendly. One message read, "When you walked in that room, damn, I forgot I was married for a second." The room went dead silent. Amara's face didn't move for a second, and then she laughed. "He sent that, not me. I can't control what a man says." Princess stood up, her voice shaking. "You didn't just reply, you sent selfies. You asked what room he was staying in. You said, 'Let's not make this messy.' Girl, it was already messy the moment you crossed that line." Amara shot back instantly. "You need to check your man, not me. He's been in everyone's DMs. You mad because you finally saw the truth?" The host stepped in quickly. "Let's just keep this respectful. We want to understand both sides." But it was too late. The floodgates were open. Social media exploded in real time. Fans posted screenshots of the live taping, tweeting, things like "Amara exposed on national TV" and "Princess brought the heat" and the receipts. Some defended Amara, claiming the text didn't prove anything happened physically. Others dragged her, calling her fake and messy. Back on set, Ray J finally spoke up. "Can we not do this here?" he said quietly, eyes pleading. We talk about this at home." Princess turned to him, eyes full of fire. "You had your chance. I gave you weeks to explain. And you kept lying. So now, we're talking about it here." Amara looked down at her lap. For a second, her confidence cracked. She mumbled, "I never meant for it to go this far." Princess caught that instantly. "So you admit it happened?" Amara's head snapped back up. "No, I meant the drama, the accusations, the embarrassment, this whole circus. You're making it bigger than it was." Ray J buried his face in his hands. The host tried to regain control, but the damage was done. The trust was gone. The friendship, if there ever was one, was over, and the cracks in the marriage were no longer rumors. They were visible, raw, undeniable. And then, another twist. Princess revealed she wasn't the only one who saw the texts. She had sent them to Brandy. Yes, that Brandy, Ray J's sister. And according to Princess, Brandy responded with a single sentence. "I always knew something was off about her." That name drop sent shockwaves through the room. Amara's eyes widened. "You brought Brandy into this? She's family," Princess snapped, "and she had a right to know who her brother was messing with." Amara stood up now. "Messing with? I never touched that man." Princess stepped closer. "Maybe not. With your hands. But you knew exactly what you were doing. You wanted attention. You wanted to shake things up. And you used my marriage to do it." The host called for a break, but no one moved. Everyone, including the production crew, was too stunned. And then, like a cliffhanger from a scripted series, Princess pulled out a second phone. "You thought I only had screenshots?" she said, staring straight at Amara. "Nah, I got audio too." Amara's face dropped. And that is where the chaos really began. The tension was so thick you could almost hear the lights buzzing above the reunion set. Amara stood frozen. The energy in the room shifted. The audience, the crew, even the other cast members, all sat silent, watching, waiting. Princess Love didn't just say she had audio. She announced it like a final blow. And Amara's reaction said it all. This wasn't bluff. This was real. "You want to deny it again?" Princess asked, raising her eyebrows, phone clutched tight in her hand. "Because this time, your voice is on it." Amara's lips parted, but nothing came out. Rake. Jay quietly whispered something to Princess, but she shook her head. "No, we're done protecting people. I'm done being the quiet wife who cries behind closed doors." "Nah, they want a show? Let's give them one." The host, with one swipe, the audio began playing. The sound wasn't perfectly clear, but the voices were unmistakable. Amara's laughter echoed faintly, followed by Ray J's. The audio captured a conversation between the two in what sounded like a hotel hallway. Not explicit, not romantic, but full of chemistry. Playful teasing, quiet giggles. A pause, and then Ray J saying, "You know we shouldn't be doing this." A gasp ripped through the audience. The host covered their mouth. Amara lunged forward and snatched the phone, stopping the recording. "You have no right to record me without my consent," Princess fired back. "You had no right to sneak behind my back and flirt with my husband either." Amara looked down at the phone, stunned. "That's not what it sounds like." "Then what was it?" Princess asked, stepping closer. "You want to keep denying? You want to play the victim? Fine. But the receipts don't lie." Other cast members began murmuring. One leaned toward another and whispered, "This just turned into a war." Someone else said, "Amara's done for." Amara sat back down slowly. Her face had gone pale. She looked at Ray J, hoping, begging for him to step in, to defend her, to say something, anything. He didn't. Instead, he stood up and walked off set. The audience gasped again. Cameras followed him as he removed his mic and stormed past producers. His face was red, angry, embarrassed. And Princess? She just stared at the empty space he left behind like she had expected it all along. "That's who you're defending?" she asked Amara. "A man who runs when things get messy?" Amara's hands were shaking. "I never meant for this to happen," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "It wasn't supposed to be like this." Princess tilted her head. "What was it supposed to be then? Harmless fun? Emotional cheating? Backup plan if things went south?" Amara didn't answer. The host tried to cut to commercial, but the cameras kept rolling. Another cast member, who hadn't said a word until now, finally spoke up. "Look, I like Amara, but this isn't a good look. Receipts don't lie. Energy doesn't lie. You were clearly entertaining something." Amara looked betrayed. "You think I would sabotage my own reputation for Ray J?" The cast member shrugged. "I think you liked the attention. I think you liked knowing you could have him if you wanted." And there it was. The quiet truth that hit harder than all the shouting. Social media exploded again. Clips of the audio were reposted with captions like, "Amara caught on tape," and "Princess really came with facts." Fans were split. Some still defended Amara, calling her misunderstood, claiming Ray J was the real villain. Others dragged her for smiling in Princess's face, while allegedly sneaking around behind the scenes. But it didn't end there. Another curveball hit just minutes later. A backstage producer rushed to the host with a phone in hand, whispering something that made the host's face change immediately. The host turned to the audience and said, "We just received new information, and we're going to let everyone hear it live." Princess looked confused. "What is it?" The host nodded toward the screen behind them. A video began to play. Security footage. Time-stamped, hotel lobby, a blurry figure that resembled Amara, entering the elevator with someone who looked exactly like Ray J late at night. Alone. Amara stood up. "That's not me. I wasn't even in that city that weekend." Princess turned to her. "You sure? Because the hotel says that's your name on the reservation, and that's your card on file." Amara's mouth fell open. Another blow. Another twist. Another round of gasps. The video ended and the room was quiet again. Too quiet. Amara, now visibly shaking, finally broke. "Okay, maybe we had a moment. But it wasn't what you think. We didn't sleep together." Princess scoffed. "Oh, so now you admit something happened?" Amara rubbed her temples. "He was going through it. He needed someone to talk to. I was just being a friend." Princess stepped forward, tears welling up. A friend doesn't sneak around in hotel elevators in the middle of the night. A friend doesn't send late-night messages with heart emojis. And a friend doesn't laugh behind another woman's back while flirting with her man. Amara looked like she might collapse. The host finally called for a break. As the cast members were escorted off set, Amara sat down in the corner, her face buried in her hands. Cameras kept rolling just long enough to catch her saying, "I think I really messed up." And then the screen faded to black. But the drama was far from over. The cameras cut back in after a long silence, the kind that only comes when the damage is done and there's no way to undo it. Backstage, Amara La Negra sat slouched in a corner chair, makeup smudged, breathing shaky. She wasn't crying loud. It was that silent kind of heartbreak, the kind that sneaks up after pride breaks and truth catches up. "I didn't mean to hurt anybody," she mumbled to a producer holding a water bottle near her. "I thought I had it under control." But that was the thing. No one had control anymore. Not Amara, not Princess, not even Ray J, who was now nowhere to be found. Rumor had it he left the set entirely, ignoring calls from producers and even his own team. Some said he was embarrassed. Others said he was scared of what else might come out. Princess, meanwhile, was backstage too, pacing like a storm waiting to break again. Her hands were clenched, her jaw tight. She had delivered her truth. The receipts were out. The world now knew. But what haunted her wasn't whether people believed her. It was how long she had been right. "She's been smiling in my face for months," she said to a fellow cast member who followed her out, "hugging me, laughing with me, and the whole time playing games with my husband." The cast member nodded slowly. "You think Ray J told her he was going to leave you?" Princess stopped pacing. "I think Ray J tells every woman what she wants to hear. But this time, she believed it." The host returned to the set alone, addressing the audience with a tone that tried to stay neutral but clearly carried the weight of the storm that had just blown through. "As you've seen, the reunion took an unexpected turn. Emotions ran high, revelations were made, and we want to thank everyone for their honesty. When we return, we'll sit down with both women separately." On social media, the story had already gone global. Amara's name trended instantly. Fans were divided. Some said she was being unfairly crucified for Ray J's actions, that he was known for stirring trouble and making women look like the villains. Others were less forgiving. One user wrote, Amara been out here preaching about women empowerment while sneaking around with Princess's man? Nah, she played herself. Another posted, "This is why trust issues exist. You can't even bring your man around your own friends." Even celebrities began to chime in. A well-known reality star tweeted, "This whole situation just shows that not everyone clapping for you is rooting for you." A few others threw in cryptic quotes about snakes and heels and betrayal from within. Your circle. And then the next bombshell dropped. Someone leaked another clip. Not from the reunion, not from behind the scenes, but from a party a few months earlier. In the video, Amara and Ray J are seen talking in a dimly lit corner. They're standing close. Too close. And while there's no audio, body language says everything. He leans in. She tilts her head, smiling. Her hand brushes his arm. The video ends before anything more happens, but the internet filled in the blanks. Amara's team rushed to do damage control, posting a vague message on her story. Don't believe everything you see. Narratives are easy to twist when you want to be entertained, but by that point it was too late. Fans weren't just entertained, they were invested, and they wanted more. Princess didn't say a word on her socials. Not a quote, not a meme, nothing. And that silence, it spoke louder than any statement could. Then came a surprise turn. Ray J finally returned. Not to the reunion set, but on his own Instagram Live. He looked tired. His eyes were red. The lighting was dark. The energy? Heavy. "I'm not here to bash nobody," he started, "and I'm not here to pick sides. But I gotta own my part in this." The comments flooded instantly. He continued, "Me and Amara, we got close. Maybe too close. I can admit that. But it wasn't what people think. I never slept with her. I never touched her. We talked. We vented. And I said things I shouldn't have. But we didn't cross that line." The internet wasn't buying it. Screenshots of the hotel footage played side by side with his live, fans pointing out inconsistencies. "If y'all didn't cross the line," one comment read, "why were y'all sneaking into hotels like thieves? In the night?" Others defend. A blog posted an anonymous tip claiming that there was more to come, more messages, more footage, even emails. Whether it was true or not, the public believed it. And the pressure on Amara reached a boiling point. Fans started demanding a response. They began commenting under every one of her posts, old and new, asking, "Did you do it or not? Why didn't you walk away when you had the chance? Do you regret it now?" And then Amara posted a black screen with 5 words. "I was wrong. I'm sorry." No tags, no defense, no shade, just 5 quiet, shattered words. Amara's 5-word post hit different. It didn't come with a selfie. There was no makeup, no filtered video, no red carpet backdrop, just a black screen and silence behind it. "I was wrong. I'm sorry." No one knew who it was really meant for. Princess, Ray J, the fans, or herself. But one thing was clear. The damage had already been done. The post spread like wildfire. It was reshared on every major blog, dissected, on live commentary shows, and quoted by influencers who had once defended her. Some called it growth, others called it damage control, and many simply asked, "Sorry for what exactly?" Princess saw the post too, but she didn't repost it. She didn't like it. She didn't even acknowledge it publicly. Instead, she made a quiet phone call to the reunion producers and asked for something no one expected. "I want to sit down with her," she said. "No cameras, no audience, just us." The producers, eager to patch things up or at least get exclusive content, agreed. They arranged for a private sit-down. 1 room, 2 chairs, 2 microphones. And 1 camera set up discreetly. Not for drama, but to capture closure, or whatever version of it they could find. When Amara walked into the room, her face was raw. No glam squad, no stylist, just her. And for once, she didn't look like the unshakable TV star. She looked like a woman carrying the weight of public shame and private guilt. Princess sat already waiting, arms crossed, eyes cold, but not cruel. She wasn't here to fight. Not anymore. She had already said what she needed to say. Now, she just wanted to understand. "Thank you for coming," Princess said quietly. Amara nodded, sitting down slowly. "I didn't know how to face you." There was a long pause. "So face me now," Princess replied. "Tell me what it was. what it really was. Amara took a breath. It started off harmless. A few DMs, late-night convos about nothing. He was funny, charming. You know how he is. I didn't think it would get this far. But it did, Princess cut in. Because you let it. Amara didn't argue. I did. Another pause. Did you love him? Princess asked, voice low. No, Amara said immediately. Never. I respected you too much for that. Princess let out a cold laugh. Respect? You call this respect? Amara looked down. You have every right to hate me. I don't hate you, Princess said, but I hate what you did. There was a silence that felt heavier than all the shouting that had come before. It was the kind of silence that only exists between women who once called each other friends. Why didn't you just walk away? Princess finally asked. You had a career, a platform. You didn't need him. Why risk it all? Amara's eyes filled. Because I liked the attention, not from him, from the feeling of being seen, wanted. I was going through stuff, feeling alone. He made me feel like I mattered. Princess sat back, arms dropping to her sides. And you didn't think about me? Our friendship? I did, Amara whispered. Every time. That made it worse somehow. The conversation went quiet again. But then, Princess said something that changed the energy in the room. You know what hurts the most? She said. It's not that he betrayed me. It's that you did. Because I expected that from him. Not from you. Amara wiped a tear away. I don't expect you to forgive me. Good, Princess said. Because I don't. Not yet. Maybe not ever. Amara nodded again, almost grateful. I understand. But before leaving the room, Princess stood up, took a breath, and said one last thing. You want to make this right? Stay away from both of us. Amara didn't reply. She just sat there, alone again. Outside the studio, the world continued spinning. Blogs posted headlines like, Amara and Princess sit down in private, but wounds still fresh. Fans speculated about whether a reunion friendship could ever happen again. Others applauded Princess for handling things like a queen, without screaming or swinging. Some said they now respected Amara for owning up to her mistakes, but not everyone was feeling forgiving. A group of Amara's fans began leaving angry messages under her old posts. One wrote, You were supposed to be one of the good ones. Another said, This ain't it, sis. Ray J, meanwhile, stayed silent. Again, his team claimed he was taking personal time to reflect. Others said he was trying to fix things at home, but sources close to production revealed something different. Apparently, Ray J had been spotted messaging another reality TV star. The receipts hadn't been leaked yet, but the blog world was already circling like sharks. The chaos wasn't over. Just days after the sit-down, a secret conversation was leaked, one between Ray J and a producer from the show. In the clip, he admitted something that changed the entire narrative. Look, Ray J said on the audio, I knew what I was doing. I just didn't think it would blow up this bad. Amara wasn't chasing me. I was chasing her. When the clip hit the internet, everything flipped. Suddenly, the blame started shifting. Fans began calling out the producers, the double standards, and the way the entire situation had spiraled. So she was telling the truth? Some asked. She was groomed into this drama? Others suggested. The timeline split in two. Those who felt sorry for Amara, and those who still held her accountable regardless of the new context. Even Princess, when asked to respond to the leaked audio, simply said, I'm not surprised. I'm just done. But deep inside the drama, one thing was clear. Nobody won. Not Amara, not Princess, and definitely not Ray J. The dust hadn't even settled when another storm rolled in. The leaked audio of Ray J admitting he pursued Amara flipped everything upside down. Those 5 seconds, Amara wasn't chasing me. I was chasing her, reignited the entire internet. Suddenly, fans began rewriting their takes, questioning the fairness of the backlash against Amara and even asking if she had been the scapegoat all along. Amara stayed silent. She didn't post, didn't comment, didn't show up to any events. Her team reportedly pulled her from 3 upcoming appearances, citing emotional distress and online harassment. But insiders said it was deeper than that. Amara was broken, not because of what people said, but because of what she almost lost, her own self-worth. Friends close to her said she hadn't eaten properly in days. She stopped responding to texts. The The confident, vibrant woman who once lit up every room now avoided even walking outside. And while some fans offered support, telling her she didn't deserve this, others weren't ready to let go of their anger. One fan page posted, "Whether she chased him or not, she still crossed a line. Intention doesn't erase betrayal." The reality TV world was shook. The producers of the show were scrambling. The reunion footage was being re-edited. What was once a celebratory season finale had turned into a full-blown scandal that threatened the brand itself. Some sponsors began quietly pulling out. Others issued statements asking for clarity and responsibility. And Princess, she moved differently now. Her social media shifted from soft glam to pure strength, quotes about loyalty, trust, and walking away. Fans rallied behind her, praising her grace, her restraint, her ability to walk through fire without turning back. But behind closed doors, it wasn't that simple. Friends said Princess had stopped speaking to Ray J entirely. They were still living in the same house, but on opposite ends. She had removed her wedding ring. She slept in the guest room. And when asked if she'd forgive him, she reportedly said, "I'm tired of forgiving the same sin in different forms." Then came the next hit. A private text thread was leaked, this time between Ray J and another cast member. The messages revealed that Ray J had not only flirted with Amara, but had also been texting other women during the same time. One of the messages read, "Amara's not even the one I want. She just makes Princess mad enough to notice me again." That line destroyed everything. It wasn't just betrayal anymore, it was manipulation. Orchestrated. Toxic blogs reposted the messages within minutes. Ray J used Amara to play mind games. One headline read, others went deeper, calling out the pattern of emotional sabotage, the way women were pitted against each other, how the entire situation was rooted in a man's ego. Amara saw the messages, and that's when she finally spoke. She went live. Not glam, not staged. Just her in a hoodie, sitting on the floor, face bare, voice shaky. "I let myself get caught in something messy," she began, "but I didn't know I was being used as a pawn. I thought there was a real connection. I thought maybe he actually cared, but now I see it. I was just part of a game." Some praised her, others still weren't satisfied. But one thing was clear. The narrative had shifted again. Now, the spotlight turned on Ray J, and it burned. His team released a cold, short statement. Personal matters are being handled privately, but the public wasn't done. One blogger posted a detailed timeline of every known incident backed by receipts, proving Ray J had manipulated both women for months. It went viral instantly. Fans began calling for a boycott of any future shows involving him. Sponsors cut ties, brand deals dissolved, and even his family began to distance themselves. Brandy, in a now-deleted tweet, wrote, "Some lessons come late, but they still come." That tweet alone sent shockwaves, and just when everyone thought the last twist had been played, another voice stepped in. An ex of Ray J's, someone from his past, posted a video claiming she went through the same exact thing years ago. "He makes you feel special, needed, like you're the only one," she said, "until you realize you were just next." The pattern couldn't be denied anymore. Fans rallied around Amara and Princess, this time together. Not as enemies, not as opposites, but as women who had both been misled, hurt, and manipulated by the same man. And in a rare move, the producers announced a full final bonus episode, The Aftermath. It would feature exclusive interviews with both women, separate and unfiltered, reflecting on what happened, what they learned, and where they go from here. The teaser showed one clip, Princess and Amara standing on opposite sides of a sound stage. No yelling, no insults, just quiet eye contact. "I see you," Princess said in the clip, and Amara replied, "I see you too." The episode hadn't even aired yet, and fans were already crying in the comments. Some said, "This is the healing we didn't know we needed." Others wrote, "We've watched these women get torn apart. Maybe now they'll build something new." Because sometimes it takes the deepest betrayal to bring out the deepest truth. And while trust may never return the same way, respect, growth, and understanding just might. And just like that, the masks came off, the truth came out, and what started as another reunion taping turned into one of the most raw, unforgettable scandals reality TV has ever seen. What makes this story hit harder than most isn't just the receipts. It's the emotional wreckage left behind. It's the silence between two women who once called each other friends. It's the man at the center, exposed for playing chess with hearts instead of pieces. Amara La Negra was painted as the villain until the tapes proved she might have been a victim too. Princess Love, once furious and betrayed, stood tall not just for herself, but for every woman who's ever been lied to, manipulated, or made to feel like they were crazy for asking the truth. And Ray J. He vanished into silence. Again. But this time, the silence was louder than any denial. So now, we turn to you. What do you think? Was Amara guilty of betrayal, or simply caught in a trap she didn't see coming? Does Princess owe her forgiveness, or was this a wound too deep to ever truly heal? And Ray J. Was he just being Ray J, or is it time we stop excusing the cycle? Let us know what side you're on in the comments below. Don't just scroll. Say it with your chest. If this story made you feel something, hit that like button. Subscribe for more untold drama, wild twists, and emotional deep dives. And turn on your notifications, because the next explosion is always one episode away. Until then, stay woke, stay bold, and remember, on this show, nothing stays buried for long.